And on people, welcome back to Curtis Shaw TV, back with another live stream. And today, people, we'll be looking ahead to the Carabao Cup quarter-final tomorrow night. Arsenal against Crystal Palace from the Emirates Stadium. The Eddie and Nketiah derby, people. The Eddie and Nketiah derby. And yeah, I'm a bit later than usual today. I've been out and about today, so I got back a little bit later, so we moved the show to 3 o'clock. So hopefully that hasn't messed up with people's viewing, and hopefully plenty of you are still in here. That's why I always say keep that notification bell on so you're updated of anything, you know, in case anything changes. And big up to everyone who is locked in today, and looking forward to the watch along tomorrow, people. I've said many times, by the way, that I want Arsenal to win the Carabao Cup. I'm not sitting here thinking we're too big for the Carabao Cup. I want the Carabao Cup. We haven't won anything for 5 years. So for me, the Carabao Cup, you've got to try and bag that and hope that that does something to the confidence of the team for the next level. Thierry's in the background today. Because, by the way, did any of you see the Masterclass? I wish I could play it. I wish YouTube didn't have these stupid things on with copyright. I wish we could actually just listen to it. I should do a reaction video. I'm definitely going to do something. You can do it, can't you, when you react to it and do certain things with the copyright stuff. But Thierry Henry Masterclass on Sky Sports last night. If you haven't seen that, go back and watch that, people. If you do anything today, especially Arsenal fans, that guy, it's criminal. And I'm saying this, it is criminal that this absolute GOAT of Arsenal, the GOAT, in my opinion, of Arsenal, it's criminal that this guy doesn't work at Arsenal Football Club in some capacity. Criminal. Criminal. The guy's knowledge and understanding and breakdown of the game is on another planet. And people online are getting triggered because they're saying he was disrespecting Arteta's tactics. And they're saying, oh, he's always been Arteta out because Daniel Ek wanted to buy the club from Kroenke and Henry was part of the consortium and he would have probably taken over as manager. I can't believe that Arsenal fans call out Thierry Henry. Like, he is the greatest player, in my opinion, to have ever played for this football club. And people get triggered because he's saying, look at the tactics, look at... I actually think he was slightly defending Arteta a little bit. Because he was basically saying there's nothing wrong with being a predictable team. He was like, Arsenal, when he played... They dominated down the left. Henry on that left, Ashley Cole on the overlap, Pires. And he's saying with Liverpool, they dominated more down the right with Trent and Salah. So he was actually sort of saying there's nothing wrong with Arsenal being lopsided and dominating down the right. What he was saying is that the left-hand side is not functioning. And he broke down the way it wasn't working properly and gave it context. But there's people online actually calling out Thierry Henry because they feel like he disrespected Mikel Arteta. It is wild. We live in a crazy world nowadays, people. What he was saying was factual. He was factual. The left-hand side doesn't get forward enough when the ball is on the right-hand side. And go and watch it back if you haven't watched it anyway. But Thierry... You'll always be the Arsenal GOAT, mate. Don't worry about this cult following. I'm genuinely convinced we're at a moment in time where some people, they're bigger fans of Arteta than Arsenal. It's crazy. It got to a point like that with Arsene Wenger, but I kind of understood with Arsene Wenger because it was like, you've had him for 20 plus years as the Arsenal manager. Some people looked at him almost like family. I kind of understood that sort of protection. But with... Anyway, let me not say too much, people. Chanel said Jackson has more goals and assists than Havertz. Let that sink in. I mean, I said it the other day. One of the craziest things for me is that when you really peep it, Arsenal spent 65 million on Havertz and Chelsea took 40 million of that and bought Cole Palmer. Yet our manager worked at Manchester City for years and would have known Cole Palmer. So why did we not sign Cole Palmer? Imagine how good he would have been at Arsenal. It would have been crazy. So we funded that transfer. We basically funded Haaland at Manchester City because we signed Zinchenko and Jesus. Yeah, I mean, they would have had the money anyway, but of course they would have had to get Jesus off the wage bill. So, yeah, crazy, crazy times. There's been some interesting things as well out of the press conference. We're going to get deeper into press conference reaction, of course. We'll do that towards the end. But Dharmesh Chef, I believe it was. Dharmesh Chef of Sky Sports. Finally, they ask a question that probably made life a little bit uncomfortable for Arteta. But he answers it like any politician would, people. Now, some people will say, yeah, I understand he's trying to defend himself. I get why he said that. But I thought it was quite funny. And even the look on Arteta's face was quite funny. He was kind of shocked. He said, Dharmesh Chef said, Mikel, it's coming up to 5 years now you've been in charge of Arsenal. You've turned them into challengers, but it's still only that one trophy in your first season. Mikel Arteta's response, well, the Charity Shield twice as well. No? The Charity Shield. The Charity Shield, Mikel. Just give me a second, people. He's talking about a glorified dinner plate. We need red stripe in large amounts. He's talking about a dinner plate. I mean, one of them. Let me just tell you, people, one of the Charity Shields, we didn't even genuinely qualify. It's supposed to be the cup winners against the league title winners. City won the treble and they give it to the team who finishes second in the league. We were there by default. We didn't even earn the right to be there. They were the FA Cup and the league winners. Don't talk to me about Charity Shields, bro. Trophies. Not the silver dinner plate. I'm sorry. And I'm not being disrespectful. Yeah, he might as well talk about the Emirates Cup and the Florida Cup. Throw them all in there. You know what I mean? Hey, Mikel, I respect it. It's shameless. You're being disrespectful. He's won 3 trophies. He's won the Community Shield. Oh, dear man. Exactly. It's called charity. Or community, they call it now. Community and charity. I mean, come on, man. Dear, oh dear. Trust the process. Community Shields. Do me a favour. It's a glorified friendly. I actually was more hyped for the Florida Cup. I was in the heat, the humidity. We beat Chelsea. I was hyped. Nah. Go easy, but that's more shameless than me. And I've been shameless on this channel over the years, allegedly. But don't tell me you won a dinner plate with some silver on it. No. We're not celebrating that. Especially when you didn't qualify for it by winning an actual trophy. You got there because City won everything and they had to get somebody to play against. I'm not interested. But big up Dharmesh Chef. I respect it. I can't believe he even got away with asking that question. Maybe he structured it. If you look at it, he buttered him up first. He was like, you know, you've done well. You've turned Arsenal into contenders. He was like, yeah, tell me more. You've challenged for the title the last 2 years. Arteta was like, yeah, I love the sound of that. But you've only won 1 trophy in 5 years. He was like, what? The Community Shield? No, twice. And he was like, well, you know. Is it? Nah, don't. Is it? Seriously. Is the Community Shield sponsored by McDonald's? Are you bantering me or are we being serious? Do McDonald's sponsor the Community Shield? The FA Community Shield. This year McDonald's are once again tempted to end the stream now. We won the Big Mac Shield. You're not wrong. I'm sharing the screen. Tempted to end the stream after 8 minutes and call it a day. The FA Community Shield supported by McDonald's. And look, we're on the pitch at the time as well. Look, the FA Community Shield with a big M. Ronald McDonald. Mikel McDonald. We won the Big Mac plate. We won a Happy Meal. We won a Happy Meal. And this guy... They won the McFlurry Shield, people. Nah. I'm tempted. Really tempted to end the stream and just call it a day. We won the Mikel McDonald Trophy. And man's talking about... Oh, dear. Anyway, as I said, this show ain't for everybody. If you're of a nervous disposition or you are a huge Arteta fan, click that X top right. Leave it alone. I don't want to ruin anyone's day. We won the Happy Meal Shield, people. We probably got a free Flintstones toy in there or Mickey Mouse and a free McFlurry and 20 nuggets. Let's move on. I'm trying to run a serious channel here and I don't want to drift into... too much information and entertainment. We've won the McDonald's trophy, people. The McDonald's dinner plate. Anyway, let's move on. Latte in the building. I'm officially done with him. Arteta out. He is a loser. Latte, what a legend, man. He's top notch, him, honestly. He should have his own channel, I'm telling you. RBTV, Big C, you think we try Sterling, Trossard and Jesus? Front three. Will he drop Saka and Havertz? We'll get to that later on. I haven't actually thought about what team he's going to pick, but that's a good point. That is a good point. Trixie, learning about the Arteta sexual logic is torture. It is. It is. They'll turn their back on a guy who's got a statue outside, arguably the greatest player to ever play for the football club. They'll turn on him, speaking facts, because it doesn't fall into the Arteta way of thinking. To be fair, I think Arteta was joking with the comment. I'll let him off, but it's no time to joke. You just drew 0-0 with Everton, so, let me do the jokes. You can't joke. Yeah, that's what I would say to Mikel. Don't joke around when you've just drawn to Fulham and Everton. Let me do the jokes as a coping mechanism, And Trixie said, Arsenal sponsored by Fly McDonald's Emirates Cup. I mean, listen, we might. It doesn't look like the boys are going to get to Dubai this year for a gold steak. So maybe we'll have some gold chicken nuggets instead, people. You know what I mean? And Ronald McDonald can drip some salt on it instead of Salt Bay. Maybe we do that, and we'll just turn the heating up inside the house, try and recreate Dubai in North London. Anyway, people, let's leave it alone. There'll be people in the comments after this saying, I can't believe he was serious. He was joking. Do me a favour. Anyway, Stan McCronkey, people. Stan McCronkey. There we go. Anyway, let's be serious now. We're a serious YouTube channel. Right? Why do you guys always lead me astray talking about McDonald's and Mikel Donald and all that? Speaking of food and drink and whatever else you might... this guy has been... Well, is that Lucozade Sport in his hand? I'm not sure. But anyway, the car park Neymar. The car park Neymar, people. We're lucky. We're very lucky. The one thing I want to know, and listen, innocent until proven guilty. Although in today's world, it's probably the other way round. It's probably the other way round. But if, allegedly, all of that, Ukraine Bolt, as you're saying, if he took performance-enhancing drugs, what the hell did you take? Because I've seen you play for Chelsea, mate, and they are not working. Yo, let me tell you now. Who remembers Ben Johnson back in the day in the Olympics? He took performance-enhancing drugs. His eyes were as yellow as Homer Simpson. And the guy just ran quicker than anything you'd ever seen. You said, raw, whatever you took, it seriously worked. What the hell has this guy took? Because it ain't helped you, bro. You've stunk out the place since leaving the car park. He's about to get a whole heap of a ban. Mudryk, yeah, man. 88 million. Listen, maybe he never took anything. Maybe he didn't. Yeah, Ben Johnson from Canada. I don't know what the hell this guy took, but it never worked. I think they tricked him. They said, listen, mate, take this. You'll be absolutely flying. You'll look like Ronaldo. 0 GA on drugs. I mean, that is crazy. He didn't take anything. He got a drink from a Diddy party. He got a drink from a Diddy party. Yo, this guy, man, all that hype. Imagine this. This would have been such an Arsenal story as well. Imagine we spent £88 million on a player who was terrible and then got done for taking performance-enhancing drugs. I think, yeah, Abinav's right. They were reverse drugs. They've made him even worse. Maybe one of the ops sold them to him. These ones make you actually worse. Ash said we'll still buy him. Yeah, rumours are Arsenal want him on loan in January. I'm joking. It might have saved us, because I've said all along, this guy's going to end up at Arsenal. I can just see it. Chelsea will get rid of him half price and we'll buy him. So I'm actually happy. Mudryk, yeah, it's a good one. Listen, he said he's innocent. He says, that is a Lucozade Sport in my hand and there's nothing else in there. Whatever it is, it ain't helped him. Arteta will sign him from Chelsea. Exactly, we will. Anyway, Mudryk. He's all over the place. Car Park Neymar is looking at a ban. They're saying it could be 2 to 4 years. We know, obviously, Pogba. They were trying to ban him for ages, but he got away with it. So, listen, he may get away with it. Tom said, Curtis, my man, I don't know why you're laughing at him. Once he's back from his ban, Chelsea will sell him to Arsenal. You're probably right. Him being banned would probably be a blessing in disguise, because if he's banned for 4 years, it means we got to wait 4 years to sign him. So, yeah, you're probably right. Summer 2025, Mudryk to Arsenal, here we go. Yeah, it's crazy, isn't it, man? What are you doing? You just got to think, what are they doing? Rather have sleeping pills Trossard, yeah, with the bags under his eyes, looking like Kung Fu Panda. Anyway, Pogba got away with it. Clement said, spent €800 million, won COVID FA Cup, got beat in the Europa League quarter-final by Sporting Lisbon, and got beat in the Europa League semi-finals by Villarreal, who were managed by Unai Emery, and got beaten in the Champions League quarters by Bayern Munich. Yeah, but listen, I have to just say, mate, he did win the McDonald's Community Shield and got 20 Big Mac, 20 chicken nuggets and fries, and a strawberry milkshake, you know. He also won the Florida Cup in 35-degree heat. So, champions of Florida, you'll never sing that. That's what he'll be singing. So, according to Twitter, he's a legend. He's a legend. So, and they're turning on Thierry, which is why I'm here repping Thierry and the green screen, because I will not accept that slander. No, you're right, though, Clement. You're right. There's no lies told, my friend. No lies told. But trust the process. Oh, and Edu's done a runner, by the way. He's on gardening leave. He told us trust the process, then ducked out of the process. And the Dubai Cup, how could I forget? Cole Hines saving penalties in Dubai. Champions of Dubai. You'll never sing that. I'm telling you, mate, they were at the top of Burj Khalifa that night, having a hell of a party. Orlando in the hurricane, storm and lightning. Do you know what I mean? Game delayed and all sorts. Anyway, Tenku said, big up Curtis, I'm watching from Malaysia. Do you think Arsenal should extend Partey's contract? I personally think they should extend 1 year. I reckon it's funny because you've heard different stories, you know. They were saying a couple of months ago that they were going to give him a new contract. Now, like I said, from the 1st of January, you can negotiate with a team outside of the Premier League. So you'd have to say at the moment, maybe not. Gunnar Potpie said, we Floridians reject Mikel and his Happy Meal toy. I don't blame you. Trixie said, you think Arteta gets excited when Monopoly is on? Probably thinks he's too clever for the game. He would definitely use the dog. Win the dog. He would call that dog win and then probably lose. And when he loses the game of Monopoly, he would say, well, at least I competed. But unfortunately, he lost to the top hat. So, yeah. He'd call the dog win and then lose the game. African Giant, your manager just said he's won 3 trophies, not 1. Guess which ones he's referring to. Damn. As I said, bro, it's a silver dinner plate. So he's celebrating dinner plates now, which is a bit not quite what you want to see. Aiden said, Mikel Arteta. I tried to whistle then. I'm sure you would have heard that. But yeah, McDonald's, people. McDonald's. To be honest, Havertz has been a bit of a McMuffin up front anyway. And Martinelli's definitely playing like an apple pie. So yeah, there's a few McDonald's things that we could relate to that team anyway. Gunnar Roller said, as I said, if we had signed Mudryk, sack everyone involved in that deal, even the delivery guy. We're lucky Edu flew to the wrong place and didn't come back with him, although he did come back with Kivior. So, I wouldn't say that was great either. And Juice says, big up Big C, are we worried we won't sign anyone? Are you worried we won't sign anyone until we get this sporting director stuff sorted out? Do you know what? I think they're not panicking about the sporting director because they're not hardly going to do anything. They're probably thinking, we don't need a sporting director. We ain't signing no one. Unless we can get a Chelsea reject on loan on the last day of the window. Ben Chilwell or something. So that's probably why they're like, yeah, no rush. Keep Jason Ato. Sounds like he's in, the new Fast and Furious movie. He won't do anything. And then at the end of the season, they'll get the guy from Real Sociedad who signed Arteta in 2002. Jobs for the boys, people. No, I'm not doing the Bruno Fernandes celebration from the other day. But, make it make sense. I'm just a chill guy, people. I'm just a chill guy. All right. I took the Ahmad celebration at the end there. But chill guy settings, people. Right, let's have a look ahead to tomorrow's game. The Eddie and Ketia derby. I tell you what, Laurie will be excited for this one. Big Eddie and Ketia fan. No goals in the Premier League. They sang. Arsenal fans, when you really deep it, the songs that... Who makes these songs up? And how do they end up actually ever gathering momentum? We had a song called Your Defence is in Trouble when Eddie's in the room. This guy's gone to Crystal Palace and not scored one league goal. 60 million down the drain, Kai Havertz scores again. The first bit of the song was right. The second bit is a lie. 60 million down the drain, 100%. Kai Havertz scores again. No, he doesn't score again. He misses again. He backs out 50-50s again. That's what they should have said. Your defence is in trouble when Eddie's in the room. Your own club's in trouble when Eddie's in the room. Your club is in trouble when Eddie's in the dressing room. Relegation is lurking when Eddie's in the room. Come on, man. It's a bit of fun, bro. NS, there's nothing funny about this, let me tell you. I ain't laughing. I saw that guy wear the number 14 on £100,000 a week, missing sitters. I'm not being funny, but there ain't nothing funny about that. There ain't no fun in that. That's like double maths on a Monday morning in school. There ain't nothing fun about that. Algebra, people, let me tell you. Anyway, went from it took Klopp 4 years to it took Fergie 6. I tell you, the goalposts, honestly, they move all the time. Elk said, tomorrow's my birthday. Hopefully they don't lose and ruin my day. This club, don't let them ruin your day. Bit of team news before we get into press conference reaction and predict the team. Mikel Arteta said, on team news, he said, not much. Declan Rice is fine. We'll make the decision whether he's available or not. Alex Zinchenko and Richie Calafiori will be out of the squad for tomorrow. Is it too early yet, or am I gonna offend people if I start saying what is actually going on with Calafiori? Or is it too early? Let me know in the comments. Am I jumping the gun here, people? Too early to have the conversation? Why our £40 million record signing of the summer, the most expensive signing, is injured again. Just to reiterate, people, in his final season at Bologna, he was out for 3 days. He missed 3 days out injured last season. Just 3 days. He's now been injured for 59 days. Too early to have that conversation, or am I going to offend people? 59 days out injured. We're only in December. We're not even halfway through the season. He's been out injured for 59 days. He missed 3 days of last season. But he's coming out in videos with his hair in a ponytail talking about he listens to drill music, looking like Central C. But if I speak, I'm suspended at least 6 months. At least 6 months. Concrete training pitch is too much for him. We spent 40 million on an injury-prone defender. But he wasn't injury-prone until he turned up. Well, he did have a major knee injury, actually. We probably have signed Central C, man. We can go band for band. We can go M for M. But that's Sench, bro. Honestly. Sench getting injured. It's crazy. It's absolute crazy. Central C from Timu. Real talk. Real talk. Central Fiore. Yeah. When the moon is show like a booby cara Fiore. And then he remixes it into band for band. It's crazy. How is this guy injured? And what injury is it? You know what's going to happen, people? Do you want me to tell you something? We'll sign another left back this summer. I'm just letting everyone know from now. You're going to say, nah, it's not possible, Curtis. We got too many. We're going to sign another one. Tierney will go in January. Zinchenko will go in the summer. Kivior will go. We'll need another left back. Calafiore will miss half the season for injury. Tomiyasu, does that guy even exist anymore? I don't even know who he is. I don't even know what he looks like. We'll buy another left back this summer. Like you said, we'll probably get Ben Chilwell. We love a Chelsea knockoff. We'll get Chilwell on loan or something. Honestly, how can you sign so many left backs and still need another left back? It's unbelievable. Clip it, bro. Calasorni, I like. That's a good one. It's a good one. I respect it. What is the injury? He's not even telling us what the injury is. He just keeps saying, yeah, we'll train today and see how it goes. And then the guy never turns up. Another injury-prone player. 40 million. He's not a natural left-back. You copied Pep, started playing left-footed centre-backs at left-back. Oh, Nathan Ake's at left-back. I better sign a left-footed centre-back to play at left-back. But unfortunately, this guy's injured all the time. And Zinchenko's injured. I mean, we don't lose too much sleep over that. But, again, injury-prone player. Who are you going to struggle to get rid of? How do you get rid of an injury-prone player on big wages that's out of form? That's very difficult to get rid of. Do you know what I mean? That's what Zinchenko, that's what Jesus, that's what these guys look like. It's crazy. We will get Hato. Yeah, we've been linked with him a few times. They're a little bit older now. We've obviously got a relationship with Ajax after getting Timber. Master of Disaster said, we need a left back, a left winger, a centre forward, a new 8, a backup to Saka and Odegaard. Mikel Arteta not buy any left backs. He buys centre back and trying to play him at left back. You could genuinely say by the end of the season we need a left back. We definitely need a left winger. We definitely need a striker. We definitely need an 8. Marino at the moment, not good enough. I don't know if he is. Back up to Saka and Odegaard, yes. So you're looking at least 5 signings there in the summer. At least. But all I know is wherever Edu went, he's at peace now. Arsenal's too many issues. I think he knew. Get out of there before it all blows up. He probably did the right thing, to be honest. Right, people, let's get into press conference reaction. We do have some transfer news to talk about later on in the show as well. I should just announce it as let's talk about players that we're probably not going to sign, but we'll just talk about them in case we ever do sign them, just so I've covered my own back. So, yeah, that's basically what we're doing. Big up everyone locked in. 2K locked in already. Make sure you hit the like button and subscribe if you're new, people. It's that time, people. Coma music. Mickey Roast, the boss. I mean, bro. I'll be honest with you. I'll be totally honest with you, people, right? Because I like to be honest. By the time I went to the Everton game on Saturday, I still wasn't quite over Fulham. Monaco made me feel better, but I wasn't completely over what happened at Fulham, right? And then I watched that game against Everton. I'm telling you now, I'm certainly not over Everton. I'm probably not over Fulham, but I'm definitely not over Everton. I'm not over a 0-0 at home against a team that lost to Southampton, got battered by Man U, battered by Brighton, battered by Tottenham. I'm very much not over that. I'm very much not over that. So he's not going to have a lot of patience from me for the foreseeable future because this is just not good enough what we're seeing. Carabao Cup against Crystal Palace. Place in the semi-final up for grabs. Home tie against Palace, man. I mean, surely you win this game of football. I mean, when we look at the other games, you've got Arsenal against Palace, you've got Newcastle, Brentford, Southampton, Liverpool, Tottenham, Man United. You would expect Arsenal to beat Palace. You would expect Newcastle to beat Brentford at home. You would expect Liverpool to beat Southampton away. Tottenham, Man United is a bit of a tricky one to call, really. They're both quite unpredictable. So I don't know with that one. But definitely you're probably looking at Arsenal, Liverpool, Newcastle, and then one of Tottenham or Man United. But the problem is, we just drew with Everton. So I'm not even overly confident that we beat Palace. And remember, people, there's no extra time. So if you end up at, let's just say you've drawn the game 1-1, it goes to penalties at the end of 90 minutes. You know penalties, anything can happen. And then it's a flip of the coin. So they have got to win this game inside 90 minutes. I'm telling you now, if he doesn't leave that game tomorrow, right? And listen, I think we will win tomorrow. But if we don't win tomorrow is Wednesday. The show after that show will not be Arsenal therapy. We will be going back to that Netflix series from 2.5 years ago. And if you was here, you know what that series is called, people. The clip will be well and truly let off if we do not win tomorrow night. Let me tell you now, people. Let me tell you, because you have to win this game of football. Arsenal need to win this trophy. Right? And I know some people will look down their nose at Carabao Cup. No, this club has to learn to win. So you may have to win a Carabao Cup before you win the next trophy or whatever. I don't want the manager in a press conference talking about, yeah, but I've won 2 community shields. No, I'm not interested in that, bro. Sponsored by McDonald's. No. Win trophies. Let's see what he had to say. You know the usual. If he waffles too much, we're skipping it, but we'll try and see what he had to say. A Dubai summer has it all. Fly better with Emirates. Get him over there now. He needs gold steak. Needs something. On the team news, not much. We heard that bit. He said Declan Rice is fine. We'll make the decision now whether he's available or not. Do you rest Declan Rice? Zinchenko and Calafiori will be out of the squad. Yeah, we're not surprised, mate. They don't even ask him about Tomiyasu. No one expects Tomiyasu to ever play football again for Arsenal. He's just here picking up money for no reason. On if he will make wholesale changes, we'll decide that in the morning in relation to how the squad is. Obviously, the relevance of the match and where we are in the quarterfinals, it becomes a very important match. We'll decide the best team to win it. After this press conference, we'll go through what team we think he should pick, what team we think he might pick. On a big chance for silverware, we want more and the big ones too, that's for sure. Not community shields, not dinner plates, bro. You know what I'm saying? We don't want dinner plates. We want proper trophies. Man delivering dinner plates to the club, man. I ain't interested in that. So get a proper trophy in the cabinet. Not no shield, not no dinner plate that you won when you was, you know, I mean, you know, you win them plates back in the day. I won the plate, the local area plate or something. You know what I mean? Crazy. Nah, man ain't interested in no plates, community shield. Man's doing community service. On what kind of game to expect against Crystal Palace? A very tough one. When you look at the last results and the approach they have, the quality of the individuals they have, how they are coached as well, it's always really tough. It's another layer of difficulty as well when you play a team twice in 4 days, so we have to be prepared for that. I'm letting you know, people. I'm just letting you all know. I checked my insurance policy this morning. I checked my insurance policy. Why? Because let me tell you now, if Edward Nketiah scores against Arsenal tomorrow night, there is a very good chance this laptop goes out the window and it's landing on concrete. If Edward scores against Arsenal tomorrow, I need to make sure that I'm fully insured that I will get the money back and can claim. I've skipped a question. I'm going to go back to that. The raid. Do you know what? I changed my settings because people kept saying, why can't you redirect and stuff? You know me, people. I'm old school. I've got a Hotmail account. I don't have a dishwasher. I'm still probably in the early 2000s. I'm not quite Blu-ray DVDs. They never took off. But so now we got the thing on. So man is saying Lee Raid, Lee. Hey, big up Lee. Lee gonna raid. Big up everyone who came over from his chat, man. Shout out to him. So now we can start raiding other people. And then, you know me, I'm old school people. Hit me up on Hotmail. I'm not even on Gmail, people. You know what I mean? I'm moving real, like, 1998 business. So big up Lee Gunner for the raid, man. Shout out everyone who's just came in the chat as well. Big up. I've got to move with the times. Not having a dishwasher is still baffling. I know. It felt like a cheat code, but you know what it is? I realized I hate washing the dishes. I'm one of these people who I leave the dishes to soak for about 6 hours. Why haven't you cleaned the dishes? Oh, they're just soaking. You know, I'm one of them guys. I'm going to get myself a dishwasher. I really am. Han said, hit me up on the pager. You know what I'm saying? I'm moving old school. And now I've just realized what the question is probably why subconsciously I skipped it. On the January window. You know, that month where we can sign anybody in the world if we can afford them, and then we can improve our squad and save the season. You know that month? On the January window, Mikel Arteta says, I fully trust the squad and our players, and the amount of situations and things we generate in the match, how little we concede. I fully trust my players. Now, let me tell you something now, people. Let me tell you something now. This better be reverse psychology. You better be playing games here, my friend. You better be doing this to drive the price down. You know when you go to buy the car and you know you want to pay full price, but you pretend you haven't got enough to try and drive the price down? If he isn't doing this, let me tell you now, January's going to look scary for Arsenal. If he's telling the truth here, January's going to look scary for Arsenal. Let's break down what he said. I fully trust the squad and our players. The amount of situations and things we generate. What's things, bro? What are these things you're talking about? The situations and things we generate. Yeah, you generate frustration. You generate anger. That's what you're generating, bro, when you're drawing 1-1. He better be trolling us. I'm telling you now. Yeah, they'll bring out merch in January. You can guarantee that. January sales, they'll bring out merch. But if they don't make a big signing in January, I'm telling you now, we're going to have serious conversations on this channel. And I mean serious ones. Because I told you, when the time's right, when the time is right, we will use the community in the right way. When the time is right, people. We will use the community in the right way. We will come together and do something that needs to happen to try and at least apply some pressure. But just wait. Give them till the end of January. Let's see how they operate. That comment drives me insane. But am I surprised? No, I'm not. No, I'm not. On if we need to win or want to win the cup, he said we want to win and do everything we can to win. It's not about whether we need or want to win. The pressure is coming in a big club. You want to do the best that you can possibly can, and that's related at the end to major trophies. This is what we want to do. It's about time. On how to ensure we score in games that we dominate after the Everton draw. The frustrating part is that watching it back, all the incredible things the team does and still not get rewarded for the 3 points. Looking back at other games in the league and our margins were 10 times bigger than many other teams that have won that day. But this is football. At the end of the day, we have to do is put the ball in the back of the net. Then we don't have the issue. What the team is producing and the way the team dominates the game, there is very little to say. Oh, dear me. I need a break from that already. I need to get it off the screen. I just can't take the cap. And I don't mean the one on top of my head. I mean the cap that I'm reading. Do I just end this here? Do I just lock that press conference off? Why does he do this? Why does he do this? And where's the follow-up question? Mikel, do you ever not think that the reason could be down to the personnel? Do you think you're not scoring goals because the guys in front of the goal are not good enough? Man said, looking back at all the incredible things the team does and still not get rewarded. Like, the guy's acting like we had the right lottery numbers and they never paid us out. Like, what the hell is he talking about? Incredible things. You couldn't finish your dinner, bro. You couldn't finish your dinner. You're dropping it on the carpet. Looking back at other games in the league and our margins were 10 times bigger. Okay, so we had way more chances. They had less chances and they won. We had more chances and we didn't win. That might be down to the fact the attacking players are not as good, apart from Saka. Do me a favour. Masterson, somebody should have asked him if he watched the Henry segment on Monday Night Football. Bro, I'll be honest with you, that question would have probably been banned from the press conference. As I told you before, you know, that these press conferences are not, it's not an open platform. When I went to America, there was people in the comments going, why didn't you call him the cone man? Why didn't you tell him that you thought he should be sacked? Blah, blah, blah. Bro, come on. You think it works like that? Like, it doesn't work like that. You go in there and say that, you're getting escorted out, you're never coming back. You want to go into more They want to know what you're going to ask before you ask the question. You don't ask that question, you're never coming back in that press conference. That's how it is, people. You can get away with a little bit. They would have said, listen, no questions about Thierry Henry today. 100%. 100%. That's what would have happened. I can guarantee it. It is like politicians. That's why, and I know people don't like it, but I like managers that just kind of speak off the cuff. That's why I like people like Mourinho and Pep and these guys who sometimes they say crazy things. But you think at least you're not speaking like you're the Prime Minister or the President. You know what I mean? But anyway, let's move on. That answer just winds me up. On people saying there is an over-reliance on set-piece goals, he said there's always the narrative. When you score 5 goals, then another 5 and another 3, you're not going to talk about it. When you concede, now you don't have that many clean sheets. When you don't score a goal, you're going to come back to that. That's normal, that's the narrative. But for us, it doesn't change. We want to improve regardless if we score 3 or 5. Even though we didn't concede anything on Saturday, there are still things defensively I want to do better. It doesn't change our work. He just honestly, waffle settings could not be a more appropriate saying for what he talks. On the balance of tomorrow's team selection, we have managed the squad in the best possible way to make sure everybody is fit and available. No, you haven't, because you said after the game, Rice had been carrying a knock, but you started him over Thomas Partey. Please just end the waffles. You know what? Let's start skipping it. It's painful to even read. I feel like I'm making you suffer. On how he feels about the narrative of the team with stats saying we're scoring less than last season. Very different to that, obviously. The depth of analysis, that's what I'm interested in. But that's an actual fact. We have scored less than at this point last season. Anyway, let's move on. In the league. And if the players are prepared for Palace to sit back, well, they are slightly different. I don't think Fulham, for example, wanted to sit back. They never have that approach and have played against Spurs and Liverpool and haven't done that. It's what you're able to do sometimes. Score, let's get rid. On the challenge of deciding a game as a player, a magic moment is not just to score a goal. A magic moment can be Gabriel against Man United when the striker, he makes him offside for millimetres. That's a magic moment. Doing it every 3 days, that's when you become a world-class player that wins games with individual action. Skip it. It's like reading a meaning out of a dictionary. On how much of it is a mental thing, a lot. Actually making it happen and believing it can happen again, creating the fear in the opposition, skip it. On whether going through in the cup builds momentum, he said, I think so. I fully believe in that. The fact you're winning, you get into the next round, builds and creates something different around the team. That's why it's important. On taking inspiration from Man City's success in this competition, he said, yes. Keeps everyone on their toes. Everybody is willing to play these games, skip it. On the January transfer window, it will depend on what player it is, the value of that player, if there is any other movements in the squad or not. So it's very difficult to answer. Well, listen, I'm clutching at any kind of hope. I'm trying to grab crumbs off the dinner plate, people. He says it will depend on what player it is. So maybe the right player we make a move. You know, if we can get a Chelsea leftover like Ben Chilwell, if Mudryk's found not guilty, you know, I'm sure. No, I'm joking. We don't want none of them players. But the fact he's saying movement in the squad, does that mean we got to sell somebody to bring somebody in? Who knows? Maybe he's just downplaying it. But the straws are about to snap. You're not wrong. On if winning the EFL Cup can lead to more trophies. I think it's helpful again. I think it's that belief, trust, touching a cup, beating someone in the semi-final and the final. It generates that energy. I think it creates the right path to go and do something else. On how Mikel will celebrate 5 years in charge of us. Oh, my days. Do I say what I'm thinking or... He says, I don't drink wine, but yes, it will be a special day. Obviously, 5 years in this job, especially the size of the club that we are, is a big thing. So grateful. Dear me. I mean, he's talking about... He said it will be a special day. I could argue it might be a sad day because I'm still trying to figure out how you made 5 years at the club. Man said, eat wins dog food. Oh my. I'm still trying to figure out how 5 years with an FA Cup leads to a special day of celebration. He said, on whether he will celebrate, I wouldn't have a celebration. Probably I will reflect on it, have some memories and look through some pictures and comments and a few moments that we have spent together, recall it and value it. Do you know what? What date did he take over as Arsenal manager? I might actually do a stream. Arteta, Arsenal manager. When did he actually start as Arsenal manager? I'm pretty sure. Was it the 19th? Just for the entertainment purposes, people. Arsene Wenger left. What am I looking at? He took over as Arsenal manager 20th of December. 20th of December. I thought it was the 19th as well. Wikipedia saying the 20th. I really thought it was the 19th. Am I right? On the 20th of December, Arteta was appointed as the manager. I really thought it was the 19th. Anyway, we can check that out after for sure, but we might have to do Arteta 5 years in charge and just do some crazy stream about what he has and hasn't done. He's 42 years of age. One of the youngest managers in the league. Yeah, I think we're going to have to do a stream and look at what he's done. 5 years of Arteta. That's what we'll call it. So, if it's the 19th, what day is it? Thursday. If it is the 20th, we'll do Friday. Yeah, I think it's only right we do a 5 years of Arteta. I think that makes sense. What a question, by the way, to ask him. On reactions from the fans to the draw to Everton. We are here to win games, even though we did the majority of the things to win it comfortably. The fact is we didn't. It's like he wants to focus on, yeah, but we dominated the game. Yeah, you didn't win. And if there's a reason Raheem Sterling didn't come on against Everton, he just says no. There's no reason. I thought he convinced you in 10 minutes you had to sign him. Why is he not playing football? Why does he not get a kick for Arsenal? Will he play tomorrow? Elaborate on the question. Force him to say something else. Do you know what I mean? We need to know more than that. Why is he not playing? Why did you sign him from Chelsea if you had no intention of playing him? Ask him the questions. You know what I mean? That's what we need to know. But they're not asking him. They're probably told they're not allowed to. That's the problem. He just says no. Computer says no. Anyway, on if Thierry and Odegaard can play together, he said, depending on who they are surrounded by and which position Ethan can play, he can play right attacking mid, left mid, he can play right wing. There is another position I think he can develop into in a few years' time, so there are options here. Are you going to tell us on that position? What position he thinks he could develop into? A number 9. And what qualities Ethan would bring to the number 9? He's got the goal in front of him. He just looks at the goal. He has tremendous ability to put the ball in the back of the net. Well, there you go. We're not buying a striker. We got Ethan Thierry. He's going to throw him up front. Get away from that painful press conference. It's actually hard work getting through that press conference. Anyway, let's look ahead. Eddie and Ketty Derby, people. How are we lining up? Are we rotating? How strong do you want to go? Let's break it down with the community. I'm so glad that painful press conference is over. Get it over with. Arteta can't win trophies. 8 out of 6 EPL games won. 8 out of 16, sorry. Imagine if that was Unai. Yep. Goalposts moved again. Jake said, see, you've got to soak those chicken pans. You got to, bro, honestly. Get the Thierry liquid, the hot water, let them soak. Hype said, big up Big C in the community, member for 15 months. Big up your damn self. Let's break it down. How are we lining up? Give me your opinions. Goalkeeper, quite simple. David Raya. Norbert Neto is cup-tied. That's a great idea. That sign a cup-tied goalkeeper who actually you've signed him to play in the cup competitions, but he's already played in it for Bournemouth. Anyway, make it make sense. At least he can play in the FA Cup. I think because of what happened over the last 2 weekends, I would name a stronger team. Because I think we've got to win. I think we've got to win. I wouldn't play Setford, 18 years of age, Palace quite direct. I wouldn't play him. I think we've got to win. I don't think goalkeepers need to rest that often either. I think Raya has to play. When I think about the defence, we don't even have many options. So I'm going strong. I don't want Kivior to play. We've got no option at right back other than Timber. I've had enough of watching Thomas Partey. And I'll play Miles Lewis-Skelly. Do they even have him on here? They ain't even got him. They don't even have him. So we're leaving left back blank. That's Lewis-Skelly. So that's ruined it a little bit. But yeah, Partey in goal. He probably will. In the midfield, he said Declan Rice wasn't fully fit. He had to drag him. So I will go... that's a good point, actually. Will I play Partey or not? Left 8, really, you've got to play Marino, I would say. We'll play Marino. He's got... No, not central, not central. Do we play Jorginho and Marino? Do we rest Partey? Would you play Partey? Partey has to play. I'm thinking he might play Jorginho, though. Do you know what he will... No, Marino has to get game time. All right, we'll go Partey, Nwaneri and Marino. You can't pay 35 million for Marino. He's not even getting a cup game. He has to get some football. Otherwise, we just totally wasted all our money. So I'll go with that. Lewis-Skelly at left back, but this website hasn't updated and got him. Kivior over Gabriel for me. Yeah, listen, I want to know your opinions. I'm just thinking Kivior's being linked with a move now. But he might use it as an opportunity to rest him. Jorginho and Marino, it could be too slow. Rashford on the left. You might see it soon. One person that's got to play is Raheem Sterling. But maybe he plays on the right. Trossard and Jesus. I'd probably go with that, to be honest. Just because Sterling can play on the right. Would you go Saka? I think Saka... Would you guys play Saka tomorrow? Do you think we can beat Palace without Saka? The one thing I'm trying to think, people, and I want to know your thoughts on this. Palace are 4 points above the relegation zone. So they're on the verge of trouble. And remember, they've got Arsenal at the weekend in the league. I think Palace will make changes. Even though it's the quarter-final, I just think their manager will rotate as well. I don't think you're going to get a full-strength Crystal Palace because they need to stay in the Premier League. And I don't think they're going to win the Carabao Cup, even if they progress. They'll lose to Liverpool or somebody else. So I reckon Eddie and Ketty will start tomorrow because I think the likes of Mateta will get rested. They may obviously play some of their first team. And they have improved over the last few weeks when they were really poor. I mean, they haven't lost in their last 5 Premier League games. So their form has definitely improved. They just beat Brighton, who are their rivals, 3-1. They drew 2-2 with Manchester City, remember, at home. They beat Ipswich. They drew with Newcastle. They drew with Villa. It's going to be a hard game, but I think Saturday will be a harder game than this, because I do think Palace will rotate a little bit. They're still not clear of relegation trouble. That would be my team. So I would go with David Raya in goal, because I just think Setford, a quarter-final, I would go with experience. Goalkeepers don't need to rest that much. In defence, we can't rotate much. I don't want Partey in defence. We could play Kivior, but there's rumours Kivior's leaving in January. He's very up and down with his form. 1 minute he's good, the next week he's terrible. Arteta might play Kivior, though, I'll be honest, but I wouldn't play him. So I would go Timber, Saliba, Gabriel, Lewis Skelly. Lewis Skelly's not on this website, unfortunately, if you're wondering why it's blank. Midfield, I would go Partey for the stability. Marino, because he needs game time. We paid 35 million for him. And then Ethan Nwaneri, he definitely has to play. Front three, Raheem Sterling on the right. I would give Saka a rest. Trossard on the left, because I just don't want to see Martinelli, although Trossard's been awful as well. And Jesus up front, get Havertz on the bench. And let's see how this front three links up. That's what I would go with. What would you guys change anything here? Tierney, I mean, listen, I would like to see Kieran Tierney play. For the sake of the content, I'll write Tierney's name there. Because surely, right, even if you're trying to sell him, he needs to play so that people can see him playing. Because if I was an interested club, I'd be like, well, you know, I haven't seen this guy play for how long. Is he actually at a level that I can trust him? So I think you should play Kieran Tierney, to be honest. I really think you should. But he probably won't. I would actually definitely play him. Do you know what? There's an argument. There's an argument that Kieran Tierney should be starting in the first team. Never mind the Carabao Cup. He's the actual only natural left-back that we have at the club. Even Zinchenko's not a left-back. He's a centre-mid. So I think that team would be good enough. Tierney won't play, I don't think. And he may play Kivior over Gabriel, possibly. I think he may use it as an opportunity to rotate one of the centre-backs. That back four, I would love to see that back four in the Premier League. Honestly. If you could get Tierney fit and get him game time, I would love to see that. Why can't you invert from the right and get Timber inverting and let Tierney play as a natural fullback and get up and down? It won't happen because he's done with him, because he has to invert from the left. Unfortunately, I don't know why. But that would be my team. RBTV said I will go Trossard central, Jesus right, Sterling left. You could do that. Jesus, some of his best performances have been wide. SG said, Curtis, I'm surprised you don't have a migraine from the press conference. Arteta's talent ID is marvellous. Kivior, Fabio Teabag, Havertz, Willian, Jesus, Marino, Zinchenko, Runarsson, Ramsdale, and Pablo Mari. Let's also add Cedric Suarez into that as well. And Jorginho. And let's not forget, he was going to try and spend around 70, 80 million on Mudryk, who's been terrible and now banned for potentially taking performance-enhancing drugs, allegedly. But apart from that, yeah, talent IDs, it's been great. It's been great. White Glove said, Ethan Jesus at left wing, done with Fartinelli and Trossard. You could, it's a good point. You could play Trossard false 9 and move Jesus wide. And Mo2K said, peace, brother. Big up yourself, bro. Obviously, I'll be back doing the watch along tomorrow night. It's a 7:30 p.m. kickoff, so a little bit later, earlier, than usual. So I'll be live at 6:30 p.m. 6:30 p.m. So we'll be live an hour before kickoff. Let's finish with a couple transfer rumours. Transfer rumours that probably won't happen, but we'll talk about them just for the sake of the content. And it's interesting. You're right, Akshat. He said that your boy Nwaneri could potentially be a striker. Why has he never used Martinelli as a striker and just used his pace and see what happens? West Ham apparently are willing to sell Mohamed Kudus in January if they get a big offer for the player. He has an £85 million release clause that becomes active this summer, but it's believed West Ham would be willing to cash in as early as January as they seek to bring in new players in the window with pressure building on Lopetegui. West Ham are willing to cash in on Mohamed Kudus if they get a big money offer in January, with Arsenal weighing up a move. However, they would have to sell players to fund a transfer. That doesn't sound good, which we said. Do we have to sell to buy? Kudus is believed to have an £85 million release clause that becomes active in the summer, so if Arsenal want to sign him before then, they would have to cough up a similarly hefty sum. I've said before, I like Kudus. He's not an £85 million player, right? He hasn't kicked on in the way we expected him to. He's also better on the right than the left. So why do you spend £85 million on a player when you've got Saka there? You need someone to go on the left. Now, maybe he can go on the left. I would rather you go and get Kvara from Napoli. I would rather you go and get Rafa Leao. I would rather you try and get Rodrigo from Real Madrid. Go and get a specialist left winger that's going to come and start on the left. I don't need an £85 million right winger that we try and fit him on the left and see how that works. We ain't got time for that. Lookman is a better player than I thought he was, I'll be totally honest. In the summer when we were linked with him, I said I don't want him. Now I would consider it. But I think there's better options. So for me, it's a no. It's a no. And he's actually, it's Alex Crook. Crook by name, crook by nature, some would say. Sensationalist journalism on TalkSport. I'm not sure how good his sources are anyway. But I would not be paying £85 million for Kudus. I think other clubs will look at him. He's been linked with Liverpool. Maybe a long-term replacement to Salah. Couple other clubs. You look at Man United at the moment, although Ahmad's doing well on the right. I just don't think he ends up at Arsenal. And the rumour is, by the way, that we could have signed him when he left Ajax, but we ran out of money. That was why we bought David Raya on loan, because we had no money left, because we'd spent it all on Havertz. We could have bought him for 35 million from Ajax, yet we bought Havertz for 65 million. Let me not talk about it too long. Kudus for me is a good player, but not for me. Not for 85 million. Do you know what? The community is always very split when I mention Leao. I think Kvara, everybody's like, yeah. I think Kvara would actually suit Arteta's system massively because he's so technically gifted. Rodrigo, I would love Arsenal to sign him from Real Madrid, but I don't see it happening. Lookman has improved a lot. I'm still not totally convinced, but definitely more convinced than I was in the summer. Leao is frustrating because he's not that consistent. But he has got something about him that is exciting. The problem with Leao is how expensive he would be. He would cost 100 million. And is he worth 100 million? Maybe not. But I think he's a very exciting player. I really do. Kvara, I think, is the ideal player for the way that Arteta wants to play. He wants a technically gifted player who can also score goals as well. And finally, listen, it wouldn't be a transfer story without talking about this man. Daily Dusan. It's back, people. Dusan Vlahovic. La 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 la. Dusan Vlahovic. La 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 la. He's reading our messages now, people. And he's typing. You know, on WhatsApp. Before, he was reading them and then ignoring us, and then the picture went grey and we got blanked and he blocked us. You know, when like it all disappears. There's no status. There's no picture. Now he's reading them. 2 blue ticks, and he's typing. We're waiting to see what the message says. Before there was no interest. Now there's interest. So basically, let me give you a bit of the breakdown. This source who is saying this story, by the way, is a terrible source. So let me not sensationalize this by hyping this up. This source is terrible. This guy makes up all sorts. But The story is Arsenal are ready to offer Gabriel Jesus to Juventus in a bid to win the race for Dusan Vlahovic. The Gunners are eager to sign the Serbian to bolster their attack. Now, I want to give you a bit of context into the Vlahovic situation. Vlahovic, apparently, at the start of the season, was apparently set to sign a new deal. However, the deal appears to have collapsed. The reason is he's on £210,000 a week. He's the highest paid player at Juventus. Juventus are asking him to take a pay cut on his new contract. They're trying to restructure their wage bill, which is why they got rid of players like Chiesa in the summer. And they want Dusan Vlahovic to accept a deal of around £175,000 a week. So they want him to take a 35 grand a week pay cut. Vlahovic is basically saying, I'm not prepared to do that. I want the same wages on the new contract. And Juventus are simply saying, we're not prepared to do it. So, 18 months left on his deal. Things got worse over the weekend. After beating Manchester City in the Champions League, Juventus drew at home against bottom of the league. And this Venezia, they drew with bottom of the league. Dusan actually scored a last-minute penalty to equalise. Juventus fans went crazy. Got to the front of the stadium, right next to the pitch, and actually they threw a lot of the blame at Vlahovic. Vlahovic ended up arguing with Juventus fans on the pitch and was giving a sarcastic thumbs up to the Juventus fans as he left the pitch. Juventus fans were going crazy, apparently. Juventus fans are saying his wage is too high. He doesn't justify the 70 million that they paid for him. He's greedy. He's not prepared to take a wage cut to fit into the structure. The fan base are turning on him at Juventus. And Juventus are currently 6th in the league. Atalanta are top. And Juventus are 9 points off the top. They've won 1 of their last 5 games. So basically, things are falling apart at Juventus. And their fan base is turning on him. 210 grand a week. I've always said I'm not fully sure how good this guy is. Just to give you some context, he scored 7 league goals in 14 games, 1 assist. But he has scored 4 in 5 Champions League games. So he's doing well in the Champions League. It's believed Juventus would accept around £50 million to sell him, as they're afraid of him running into the last year of his contract where they know they would have to sell him on the cheap. Could Arsenal get him for 50 million? And also, it would work in Juventus's favour to get a player offers rather than losing him on the cheap in the summer. And I think Juventus would be a decent move for Gabriel Jesus. Slower league. I wouldn't put Vlahovic at the top of the list. I'd rather sign Gyökeres. I'd rather sign Isak. I'd rather sign Osimhen. But what do you guys think? 24 years of age. It seems like Arteta's obsessed with this guy. It really does. Or are Arsenal not that in for him and the press just draw for the Vlahovic story every time things get quiet? I don't know. But it looks as if there could be a way of getting him in January, and 50 million, they paid 70 million for him. So We will see. We will see. Kivior plus Jesus and cash for Vlahovic. He's a great backup to Kai. We don't want no backup. He's got to be better. The match is tomorrow, 7:30. Asfar said 100% take him. Views on sport is just for content. Cello said Vlahovic is mid. We need Lookman and Gyökeres, said Stephen. AHD said, Curtis, your title is exactly the reason I didn't want Arteta in the first place, because they will manipulate him, make him like another Wenger who never asked for money. Now it's happening, yeah. They're basically paying him the money to cover up for them, 15 million a season. There's no way he should have gone from 8.5 to 15 million a season. They've done that for him to take the nonsense and cover up for them. He's their shield, their human shield, or their community shield, the McDonald's one. Go steal, Curtis. You do this every transfer window. You get excited about all the rumours, but you and I know your coach won't buy the players. Bro, I'm so not excited. You can tell by the tone of my voice that I'm not excited, bro. I don't have any real belief that we're going to buy a striker in January. So I think that excitement is definitely not there. But hey, people, thank you very much for tuning in today. Really appreciate you giving up your time on this Tuesday. There is no games tonight, actually. I'm surprised. Most of the games are tomorrow. And then Thursday. So I might do a watch-along on Thursday as well, actually. Is the Man United game on Thursday? Yeah, Man United Tottenham's on Thursday. We may do a watch-along for that. As long as Arsenal are still in the competition, by the way. So 7:30 tomorrow. So I'll be live from 6:30 tomorrow for a 7:30 kickoff. Arsenal against Palace. Newcastle and Brentford are playing, and Southampton against Liverpool. And then it's Tottenham Man United on Thursday. So plenty of content, people. Big up to everyone locked in. Milwaukee versus OKC. Big game. Giannis against Shea. So yeah, I'll probably be watching that later anyway. Big up to everyone locked in. Hope you're well. Hit the like button and subscribe if you haven't already. And I'll see you all tomorrow, people. Bless!